All right, friends, I want to talk about the pentatonic, and then this concept that we can then take into other modes and other scales, but just the minor pentatonic. The reason is I just did this same lesson with 2 clients this week, and it's something that I do get asked for a lot on this channel. So if we take, if a client comes in for their first lesson, right? I'll have this and I'll say, all right, go ahead, just give me like a little pentatonic solo. And it's a lot of and then it goes nowhere. What starts to happen from that point on is a lot of people, these clients specifically, but a lot of questions that I get asked, and I remember thinking this too, was, well, give me more modes of the pentatonic. How can more positions of the pentatonic? You know, how can I move this up? That isn't going to help. Your problem is not that there aren't enough notes to choose from. Not only that, just playing in the next key, it's not giving you any extra notes. Okay, this is it's all the same notes up and down. The reason that we use this position is because we have this backbone, you know, and that tends to be just like a little bit easier to play. Now, a lot of people will kind of play this and then scoot up to like the second position of the pentatonic up here. So now you've got from here to here covered, right? And if you just move this up on the bottom string, that's every single note now from here to here. Now, I personally would not want to play in a lick, so that's why we do learn the other positions, right? But it's not giving you more notes, and it's not giving you more note choice. So if you can't play a solo that you really like, if you don't know how to use rhythmic phrasing, which I go over a lot in this channel, more notes is most certainly not going to help. But if you're ready to move forward and you want to learn some of the other positions, this is going to be way more effective, and it's going to seem a little bit harder than just learning the scales, but it's going to be way more effective, and you're going to understand why these scales are there. So this can be coupled with, if you kind of like look at your different positions of the pentatonic, up and down. So what we want to do, first of all, is I want you guys to find every single root note. So in this case, I'm playing an A, right? So what you do is you find every single A that you can. I generally don't go below or above the 12th fret, really, just because like everything starts over. So now what we have is, let's take this root note, because this is like pretty popular. This one is not as used as popular because it's really low, and I want to make sure that I can utilize the strings on either side of the note. So this is our root note right here, right? 7th fret, 4th string. And all I want you guys to do is play the note before or note after, and then the note before. Now, if that's a little too much, just do these 2 notes. Okay? If I'm going to start, I'll start with the easier form. So if we do, so it's just the note after, and then back to the root note. What I want you to do is I want you to do that for every single A. Now, that's going to be kind of easy at first. Now, what you're going to notice is each A, most likely, most of the time, is going to have that note in 2 different positions. So what I mean by that is this A right here, 10th fret, we have the note right there, the 8th fret, and the 10th fret, and also here. So here. Sorry, I took a little bit of a pause there because that's the 13th fret, and I said that I don't generally go above the 12th fret. I meant for finding the root notes. So you wouldn't have to do here and then all the way up here. Just wanted to clarify that. So now you take that simple 2-note lick and you realize, oh wait, there's 2 of them for each A. Got it. Let's add the next note. Same thing, there's going to be 2 different ways to play this for each A, and what you're going to do is you're going to notice this position, right? So you have, all right, if I take that root note, I do the same thing up here. It's going to be the same position, right? Got it. Okay. If I do it down here, though, That's the same positioning. This one's different with the open. This one doesn't quite work because you have to break position, right? That one's going to be a little bit different. So now, when you have the A, you've got the note ahead and the note behind. You want to make sure that the two positions that you're doing, and this is where it's really going to bridge together, and this is where it's really going to help, is, let's see, if I take this A, where you're going to start bridging all of the pentatonics is the fact that you're doing the root note as the higher frettage, right? The higher number. And then do it as the lower number, right here. 10th fret, higher frettage number, lower. All right? That way you can kind of visualize. So now what we're doing is we're taking each root note and we're going a little bit above and then a little bit below, and then all I have to do is a little bit more, and then it completely connects itself all the way up and down the neck. That is wildly more effective. Now, to do that, coupled with, coupled with the learning the scales up and down is great too. But this is just way more musical, way more applicable, and you understand why it is that you're doing it. So now we can do that. We can move on to. If I take that all the way up now you can see I'm starting to bridge this together. Right? Now I'm moving, and what I'm not thinking of is, oh, now I'm in this position of the pentatonic. All right, now I'm in this position of the pentatonic. I'm just using my root notes, and that becomes more effective. What happens if we're only doing it in the scale, in kind of like the scales and learning the positions, is we see a lot of this, okay? If I have, I hit that with such conviction. My root note, that's my root note, you know? And then this, that's my tension note, that's my flat third to my root note, right? And then when people learn the other position of the pentatonic, we get this sound. But that is not the flat third anymore. And that's not the root note. So you have to play those differently. But because it's first finger on the third string, just like down here, and then it mimics this so much that that's how we end up playing it. You know, and that's why learning the positions is not as effective as learning where the root notes are and how to move them. So if there is that sort of a jam situation, and really right off the bat, almost catching me off guard, someone were to say like, all right, Ryan, go do a solo. Now I'm not thinking, all right, I'm in this position of the pentatonic, and then I'm in that position of the pentatonic. And that's not my mindset. My mindset is I know where those root notes are, and that's how I'm going to navigate through them. So starting, again, root notes, and then if you guys don't want to do the note above and the note behind, just the note above, and get really, really used to that. I mean, be able to do that, and I would recommend to a click, you know, and then you can gradually move that click a little bit faster and a little bit faster, right? You do that, and then these notes, and then a little bit more, and then, okay, we got it, right? And then we're able to kind of move up and down the pentatonic. The great thing is, when you do it for, let's just say you start with A, when you do it for A, and it seems like it's taking a while, you know, and you're like not quite getting it, you're getting a little slower, you're getting a little faster. Once you get it in one key, trying to move it to the other keys is going to be easier. It's not like you have to redo this in your brain, you know, to try to figure out exactly what's happening. The last part of this is to try to get the style in there as well. So what I mean by that is this. I kind of have a little bit of a bend there. Right, and with the way that I'm picking it. Can I mimic that? Can it sound the same if I do this? Not quite. Closer. So just something else to consider. You know, it's kind of, it's almost like just getting the notes at first and then adding those little bit of details later on. So I hope that helped. This is sort of a secret, but I figured I love you guys. Might as well give it to you. Let me know what you think.